Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are going to be reassembling my LS7 engine with a new camshaft, and we're going to go back onto the dyno and see how much power we can pick up with this new profile. All right, it's everybody's favorite day whenever your new camshaft shows up in the mail. So today we're going with a one-off custom grind. Here are the full specs for you guys. 262, 278, hair over 3/4 valve lift. We like to see that on a 115 plus 3. So if you guys watched my previous video about this engine, we were on the dyno and it didn't quite make the power we were looking for. And so we pulled it off the dyno and we're going back to the drawing board. We have this new camshaft that we're going to test. We also have a much bigger set of headers that should unlock some free power. And we're going to optimize the intake piping track into the throttle body. So we're going to make 3 big changes and see how much power those 3 net us together on this combo. So I've got the motor torn down. So first thing we're going to do is install the new cam. We're going to degree it to make sure it's on that, what am I going for, 112 ICL. Then we're going to check piston to valve clearance for our notes and for our records, and then we'll finish assembling the engine, and then in the next video we'll be back on the dyno to see how much power we've picked up. So with all that out of the way, let's get to work. Now, really quick before we keep going, I saw a lot of comments in the previous video about, Jacob, why are you messing around with a hydraulic roller cam? Motor of this caliber needs to be solid roller. And you know what? You're right. We are messing around with a hydraulic roller cam still, mainly because I want to see how far can we go? How much power can you get out of a hydraulic roller cam deal on these LS's? I want to find the perfect combo. And then after it comes back to the shop, after a season of road racing in a race car, we might convert it to solid roller at that time, and then we'll see how much that picks up over a very well tuned in hydraulic combo. So yes, this motor, I agree, it should be solid roller, but I'm a little stupid and I want to see how far I can go hydraulic roller before we make that switch to solid roller. So that's a quick explanation as to why I'm still messing around with this hydraulic, and you guys are right. If this was a customer build, I would have immediately told them, just go solid roller. It's better, it's easier. But it's a personal build, so I can sacrifice some money, I can sacrifice some labor. It's not a big deal. I'm not in a rush. No one's rushing me to finish the motor. So let's play with it. Let's see how much we can make with a hydraulic, and then we'll go solid in the future. All right, now we're going to check piston to valve clearance. You can see I've just got a couple clays right there. We already did the 3 clay valve check clearance to make sure that the valve reliefs are in the right position in the piston. We know that's good. So now we can just check vertical clearance, not the, I believe, radial clearance. Alrighty, so let's take our cylinder head and we'll guide her on down here. Maybe. There it is. There it is. And I just put studs on the surrounding 4 cylinders, and I just torque them to half spec. You know, going, full spec torque with every single stud all the way tight versus just doing the surrounding 4 at half spec. It's probably only going to be about a 5 thou difference. And if your piston and valve clearance is so tight that that 5 thou is make it or break it, then you can do the whole head. But if it's not, like most mortal people who aren't building pro stock, 4 is fine. All right, now let's pull off this cylinder head. We will check what we got. Alrighty, went ahead and cut these in half for you guys. And look at this, intake valve. Wow, that's a slow zoom, come on. Didn't even touch. It just kissed the material right in front of my fingernail. I don't know if you guys can see that. This indentation is from the quench pad touching the quench pad of the cylinder head. That's not the valve. The valve just barely marked it right there. So we still have over 200 thou piston and valve clearance on the intake. The exhaust, on the other hand, did make a mark. Look at that. Just a little itty bitty mark right there. Still over 200 thou piston and valve clearance. Let me reiterate, this camshaft, 262, whoa, 278, 3/4 lift with very, very, very small valve notches, has over 200 thou P to V. All right, it be fine. It will be okay. All right, measuring's done, cam's in, timing cover's on, oil pan's on. Let's bolt down the cylinder heads. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me for tonight. I gotta get going home and take care of the family. So tomorrow we will final torque the cylinder heads, confirm pushrod length, and finish the valve train and get this engine ready to get back on the dyno. New day, we're back at it on the engine. I'm gonna spend the next 2 hours torquing these heads down, and then we'll be ready to check pushrod length. Okay, the cylinder heads are final torqued. Next step is I'm going to confirm that the new camshaft is going to take the same push rod length as the previous two. It should, but we're going to go ahead and double check it while we're here. So when increasing the lift from 700 thou to 750 thou, that takes material off the base circle of the camshaft once the lobe lift gets this big. So we do need to increase the push rod length. I'm going to get those ordered, and they will be here right now. And just like that, we have new push rods from Smith Brothers. I ordered these push rods yesterday morning. They're a custom 8.240 3/8 with 145 wall. And they came in today. So huge shout out to Smith Brothers push rods. You guys are awesome. I have never experienced that fast of a turnaround service in my life for a set of custom LS push rods. So new push rods are here, rockers are clean, motor is ready. While we were waiting, I went ahead and put the valley cover on as well as the balancer. But now I'm going to throw the push rods in the motor, make sure they're all in the lifter cups, and then we'll start bolting down the rocker arms. All right, valve train is done. All the rocker arms are set. Next stop, we'll throw the intake manifold on, and this beautiful engine will be ready to get back on the dyno. Before we throw the intake manifold on, I wanted to show off my steam vent line. The heads were drill and tapped for 8 NPT fittings, and then I made a -4 braided steam vent line with our Smedding, part of our Smedding steam vent kit. I just think it's freaking cool. Pretty proud of how it turned out, not gonna lie. So, all right, now I'm going to throw the intake manifold on, and this motor will be ready to dyno. Dude, there she is, ready to dyno. So again, new camshaft, totally different valve events, similar duration to what was there prior. 750 thou lift now. And then of course we have the much bigger headers, and we are going to actually optimize the air intake track and test and find out what this motor actually needs. Some other things that I changed while the motor was down was I got the iron mask adapter and the ICT billet spacer Cerakoted black. I didn't like the bright silver finish, just kind of want to black it out, make it kind of stealth mode. Man, I'm excited. So we're going to dyno this engine tomorrow after work at my shop, and this video will come out and the dyno video should be right behind it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. We'll see you next time.